This lesson I'll be going over graphing and writing compound inequalities. So to get started, we need to understand what a compound inequality is. Well, it's going to be one or more inequalities that are combined by either the term and, which means it's where the inequalities overlap, or by the word or, which means everything together. So let's take a look at a couple examples. So let's say I have x is greater than 2 and x is less than or equal to 4. So I take a look at x is greater than 2. Since I have that greater than sign, there's no equal to, I know that I'm going to have an open circle at 2. Now I just need to figure out which direction it's going. So I need to pick two test points. I pick a number smaller than 2, so 0, and a number larger than 2, so I'll choose 3. Now to test those points, I replace the variable with those numbers, and now I check to see which one is true. Well, 3 is greater than 2, so since it's a larger number, my arrow will be going to the right. So now I'm at 2 and I go to the right. Now I need to graph my second inequality. X is less than or equal to 4. So since I have the equal to part, I know that I'm going to have a closed circle. So I have a closed circle at 4. Now I need to test 2 points. A number that's smaller than 4, so I'll choose 0, and a number that's larger than 4, I'll choose 5. Again, to test these, I replace the number with the variable, and then I take a look at those and see which one's true. So here I can see 0 is definitely less than or equal to 4. So that means since 0 is smaller than 4, my arrow will be going to the left. So now to graph the compound inequality, since I have the word and, I need to look at where they overlap. And to do that, I just take a look at my open and closed circle. And since my circle's closed, I just bring that down because that means they overlap. And then I bring down my open circle. And then I can see that it's everything in between those two numbers. So my compound inequality is between 2 and 4. Let's take a look at an example with OR for a compound inequality. Again, I do the same thing. I graph both inequalities. So x is greater than 3. Since it does not have the equal to part, I'm going to have an open circle. So I have an open circle at 3. Now I need to test 2 points. A number smaller than 3, I'll choose 0, and a number greater than 3, so I'll choose 4. Now again, to test those points, I just replace the variable with the number and see which one of those is a true statement. Well, 4 is greater than 3 is the true statement. And since 4 is larger than 3, I know that my arrow will be going to the right. Now I need to graph x is less than negative 1. Since I have the less than, my circle will again be open. So now I have an open circle at negative 1. And then I need to test 2 points. So a number that's smaller than negative 1 would be negative 2, and a number that's larger than negative 1 would be 0. So to test these, I replace the variable with my test number, and I see which one of those is true. Well, I can see that negative 2 is less than negative 1, and since negative 2 is smaller than negative 1, I know that my arrow will be going to the left. Since my compound inequality is using OR, that means it's going to be everything together. So all I'm going to do is take my two inequalities, move them on to the number line, and I will have graphed my compound inequality.